And now, The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Here's your host, Sabrina Turner.
Good morning, Cayman, and welcome to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. I'm your host, Sabrina Turner, and it is my pleasure this morning to put the spotlight on our first guest in speaking about the National Council of Voluntary Organization Radio Telethon. I can't believe time has flown by so quickly, and here we are again. And my to tell us more about this upcoming event is Mona Mead, no stranger to the airwaves right here, and sharing all of the lineups and what you'll be in store, but more so get an overview as well as get a recap of what happened last year regarding to targets for this year and where all of these proceeds go to.
Okay.
So,
good morning.
It's a pleasure to have you
Thank you for
on our
having
show.
me.
Now, the Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by greenturtle.ky. It's also brought to you by Cayman Medical Supplies and by Grape Tree Cafe over there in Bodden Town. Now, Mona, for those... Let's take it back a little step in time and give us a brief history of the National Council of Voluntary Organization and why it was established.
Well, seeing as I've only been there just over 18 months, I think it was a good opportunity for me to actually have sat with Miss Olive Miller, who is one of the founding members of the NCVO's board, and she is still active on the board today. She actually spoke with me about the history of it. So what I understand to be, and forgive me for those out there who may have been a part of the board itself, and if I'm getting anything wrong, but from how I understand it to be is that there. At the time, in this, I think it was the mid-1970s, so about 74, 75, the NCSS, or the National Council of Social Services, changed its remit and changed its name to the National Council of Voluntary Organizations. I think what was happening was that there were several organizations like the Kiwanis Alliance, and again, I could be wrong, but organizations like that, service clubs, that came together to form a board to then raise funds and raise awareness about the different causes that they were doing or were working towards. At that time, they then covered areas such as, people in need, covering uniforms, taking care of persons who may have needed clothing or food, any type of need or social need that people in the community would have had at that time, including building the preschool and the nursery, which was actually on Schoolhouse Road, their school road, as I can remember. We still have some staff who are with us till this day who worked there. Shout out to Miss Tammy Barnes and to Miss Caroline Ebanks, who have been there from the beginning, as well, two teachers that we have in our establishment, as well as taking care of, purchasing things like school uniforms. And until this day, we now actually take care. There was sorry, let me go backwards a bit. There was a program called the Caring Cousins program. It's changed to the Caring Cousins Lunch program, but that actually existed to have sort of a big brother, big sister, where a member of the community would then go and basically befriend a family, sort of like a cousin, because at that time we were all pretty much cousins.
It's true, everyone was.
And kind of take care of that child, whether they gave them $5 for lunch for the week or maybe made sure they had an extra school uniform, shirt or something like that. So it became sort of a friendship, family relationship along with some financial assistance. So that was just one of our long-standing, along with the preschool and the nursery, which provided education for young early childhood care.
Now, the NCVO Radio Telethon will take place this month. Can you share with our listening audience exactly where and what can people expect from this year's?
Well, we again have been able to bring on board a lot of wonderful acts. So this year it is at the Prospect Playhouse, as it has been in over the last few years. We want to thank the Cayman Drama Society and the staff at the Prospect Playhouse for allowing us to have their that location for free. Everyone who actually works on this on the telethon is actually acting in the capacity of a volunteer, including Flo and Mr. Wardley Connolly, who sets up all of our phones every year. He comes out and works diligently for almost an entire day to make sure we have our phone lines ready. That's 946-3146 is the number that you need to call. And we also want to thank Radio Cayman for being there from the onset. It was a radio telethon in the beginning, in the sense that it was, a radiothon, sorry.
Yes.
And then in 1992, I believe, when the Cayman Islands television network came into play, you joined forces at that time, and it became a radio telethon. So people were able to listen while driving around in their cars, as well as watch if they were in their homes. TV. So this is what has helped us to continue growing this over the last 4 decades. So we're in our 39th year.
Yeah.
Again, it's the 20th, Saturday, so in almost 2 weeks.
Yes.
And at 7 o'clock till midnight, you can watch and listen on both Radio Cayman and Cayman 27 and pledge.
So what is the targeted amount that you hope to raise during this year's NCVO's Radio Telethon? We usually,
over the last few years, again, we've tried to raise $140,000. This may change in the next few years as costs are continuing to rise and needs are continuing to grow. But we are looking at $140K again this year. On last year's night, we actually received very close. We received $138,000 in pledges. The cash that actually came in, or the funds that actually came in, was $133,000. So we were very close. It always happens that we do fall short sometimes. So we're asking if we can make $145,000, then maybe we'll actually make our target of $140,000. So we're asking people to reach in, and if every person in the Cayman Islands gave $25, we'd make our target.
That's true. So how do you actually go around now collecting these pledges so that shortfall won't continue to happen?
Well, what we do is the telephonist will take the call.
Correct.
They'll take the information, persons, if they wish, their telephone, their email, their personal address. So there are times where we could actually go out and pick up those funds from that person. Generally, we ask them to make the pledge and then bring those funds in at a later date. So there's not any really funds taking, or any transactions taking place on the night, but afterwards. We do encourage people to actually go online and make their donations online at CaymanGiftCertificates.com. They've been a sponsor of ours for many years, and know that is an easier way. It's direct. There's no cash handling.
Correct.
It's safer for us. If you can do that, that's actually very important. But people do still tend to send checks into our mail directly through post, and that's P.O. Box 1140, KY 11102. But you can find us online, obviously. Our address is easy to find.
You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz as we put the spotlight this morning and telling you more about the upcoming National Council of Voluntary Organization, which we'll be referring to as the NCVO Radio Telethon that takes place on Saturday, October 20th. Telling us more about this fundraising event is Ms. Mona Mead, NCVO Coordinator. And what will be who will be some of the performers at this year's NCVO event?
Well, we have to thank Eden Hurlston from One World Entertainment for putting together the show again this year. This is his 3rd consecutive year. He took over from Barry Kwape and Chuck Kwape in putting together the entertainment. This year we actually have a new performer. His name is Danny Loops. I have not met him yet. I'm looking forward to meeting him. We also have Dario Rivers and Maxim Kazakov. They're back for this year, along with established acts like Kate Allinger, Little Magic, and of course Bonafide. Every year we have the tradition the blessing of having Miss Joanne Wilson there with us in her big leather chair. She's going to be back reading her poetry for us. And we also have, once again, Mr. Roy Bodden, soloist, Mr. Roy Bodden. We have to have our little country in there. And Mr. Luis Castillo with his classical guitar. He's both very talented gentlemen. We have some young women from the Cayman Imperial Beauties girls pageant, young musicians from the John Gray High School, cellist Dickwan Smith, who is the runner-up in the Butterfield Young Musician of the Year. I think he actually is the winner. I may have that incorrect, though. And then Dime Lee will also be back. She is a 12-year-old young lady who's a wonderful musician as well as dancer and performer as well. And of course, we're very, very happy. We haven't had them for a few years. They were with us for a long time. High Tide is back. They're going to be finishing out the show for us. So we're asking people to hang in there and stick around to listen in to hear the sounds of High Tide. It's wonderful little band, and we really appreciate them. They've done really well over the years with so many albums, and we're really happy that they're there.
Now tell us how the business community is lending support and what prizes will be up for grabs.
Oh, wow. We have almost 70 prizes. When we did our commercial, which you'll hear on Radio Cayman, that we had just over $5,000 worth of prizes.
Wow.
That has now increased to over $7,000 worth of prizes.
Excellent.
We reach out every year. We send emails, make some calls, and hey, you've been with us for a little while. A lot of the prizes begin at about $25, and many of them go up to past $100 worth, in value for each certificate. And we want to say a big thank you. Some of those, I would say, the bigger prizes that we're going to pull at the end of the night. We have 2 executive medicals from Health City Cayman Islands. That's valued at US $799.
Wow.
They gave that to us again this year, and we're really thankful to Mr. Scott, Ms. Trumbach, and the team up at Health City. We received a necklace, a diamond-encrusted necklace that you can actually wear 2 ways from Effie Jewelry.
Nice.
We want to say a big thank you to Sanjay.
Early Christmas present.
Yes, very beautiful. And that comes with a silver necklace, of course. We also received a painting valued at $400 from Charles Long. It's very beautiful, as well as many gift certificates for spa at Body Works. We have lobster pot, treats, Simboco, chicken, many different restaurants. There's so many.
It's a win-win.
It really is.
Just go and donate, because there's such a satisfying feeling when you know how far your small contribution, as you may feel, it can go a long way. Which leads into this. How much does the NCVO rely on the success of this event to, the survival of their projects?
Well, this is our largest fundraiser for the year. So we rely on this quite heavily. I would say, if we were to think about it in percentage-wise, 75% of what we do goes into the telethon. And we really do have to thank all of the community, all of the corporations, all of the retail businesses who support us each year. When we also obviously have to be very thankful to the Ministry of Community Affairs, as well as the Ministry of Education, Early Childhood Care, for what they do for us as well. And we're thankful for all of that support, because we do have the foster home, which houses up to 9 children. We have 7 spots with 2 available emergency spots, where we care for children as if it were in your own home. Right. So we're talking from school shoes to electricity, food, gas to drive them to school and pick them up. We pay for tutoring, all sorts of different, just what you would generally give to a child. But think of an extended family or a larger family of 7 to 9 children, which, is quite a lot over the year. With the nursery, we feed our children in the preschool, so preschool nursery side, so they get breakfast, lunch, and a snack on us. So the NCVO provides that for our children, as well as the Caring Cousins lunch program. I spoke about it. It grew from taking care of children in more of a physical aspect, physical and financial aspect, to providing food at the schools, at the public schools, for those who are eligible. Up to 40 children receive that. So that's about $1,100 per child per school year.
Wow.
So it's about just over 44,000, I think it is, per year, just for that program. The John Gray Memorial Fund, which is a grant for those students who may have a scholarship, but it just doesn't cover everything. So they would want to apply to, cover tuition, maybe, cover books and transportation, room and board, just that type of things, as well as the bargain shop. So the bargain shop is more so a community program that exists to allow persons who may not have a lot of money to come in and be able to purchase lightly used items at a lower cost, but they're still good. And when we look at that, it's also a way for us to help our environment, because such a large amount of money of products go into the landfill. So this is what we exist to do. We're continuing to grow, and we just really have to say a big thank you to all those out there who assist us, because again, this is our largest fundraiser for the year.
Thank you. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we'll keep the spotlight on the NCVO upcoming radio telethon that takes place Saturday, October 20th. You will be able to view it on Cayman 27, and of course tune into your number 1 station right here, Radio Cayman.
That smells so good. Wow, looks delicious. Let me tell you, Grapetree Cafe is the #1 fish fry place on island. You can't see my plate, or what? Yeah, and I'm looking at this menu and not only seeing fried fish, I also see roast fish. I see fritters, breadfruit, cassava, plantain, look here, wings, conch fritter, saltfish fritter and sauce. And watch, they even got chicken tenders and fries. And on Saturday, child, they even got chicharron. Plus, you got all the delicious local juices to wash it all down.
That's right. Grapetree Cafe here on the beach in Bordentown is loved by locals and visitors like me and my family. It is the popular weekend spot to enjoy the ambience, great food, and soft island music. I'm returning home tomorrow, but I can't wait to return to the Caymans and enjoy the good food and island vibes at Grapetree Cafe in Bordentown.
Okay, wanna try to order up and come join me here so we can watch the sunset.
October 18th is International Credit Union Day, or ICU Day for short, celebrating 70 years of the credit union difference worldwide and 43 years here in the Cayman Islands. Stay tuned to learn more about the special ICU Day activities and offers in the coming days.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
In May 1908, under Commissioner Hearst, the Government Savings Bank was established to compensate for the lack of any commercial bank. It was believed that prior to the bank's establishment, a large amount of gold was held privately and buried throughout the island for safekeeping. Initially, depositors in the new bank were offered a 2% interest on their funds, which later increased to 2.5% in 1911. In 1908, the bank had 3 depositors with total deposits amounting to £5. By 1909, this rose to 18 depositors and £90. But the Government Savings Bank proved to be attractive, and within 6 years of its inception, in 1914, deposits had grown to £554. Information from this historical vignette was sourced from Founded Upon the Seas, A History of the Cayman Islands and Their People by Michael Creighton and the New History Committee.
Radio Cayman's historical facts vignettes are proudly brought to you by Cayman National, with branches on all 3 Cayman Islands. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs.
It's more than what we do. It's who we are. We were your official bank of the quincentennial celebrations in 2003. We were your Bank of the Year 4 times. We were voted as the inaugural top employer in 2010. We were the inaugural Business of the Year awardee in 2017. Who are we? We are Cayman National, your local bank, proudly serving you for over 40 years. It's because of you that our journey continues.
You may have heard of them by now. greenturtle.ky, a one-stop shop for your mobile needs. Whether shopping for a new phone or topping up a loved one, it's time to hop aboard the Green Turtle Express. From 24-hour delivery in Grand Cayman to sending credit worldwide, greenturtle.ky is the future of mobile. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. greenturtle.ky. They get there first.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. The National Council of Voluntary Organizations, one of Cayman's longest-running charities, will host its 39th annual fundraiser on October 20th. Yes, that's Saturday, October 20th. And listeners to Radio Cayman, viewers of Cayman 27, will be able to view and hear the live audience that will take place at the Prospect Playhouse, and will be able to enjoy great entertainment as local musicians and vocalists perform a wide range of styles and genres. Telling us more about the upcoming event, I'm pleased to have joining me in studio Mona Mead, telling us more about the importance of how you donate, the many projects, the main NCVO projects that, funds from this radio telethon that I personally have grown up contributing, saving up my money and coming right here to Radio Cayman and giving it, because I used to live right across from the police station.
Yes.
Yeah, so as a child, I remember doing that, and I understood and can appreciate the gratitude, the joy that I felt to know how far my little savings could go. And I want to encourage more people to plan for this event, because we know this has been an organization that has been doing this for 39 years now. 39.
Well, the telethon is 39 years old. The organization is 43 years old.
Correct.
So we've been working
From
at this for quite a while.
1975.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So again, it continues, and corporate sponsors and everyone who's hearing the sound of our voice, we encourage you to save this number in your phone so that you can actually call and give your pledge. What's that number?
The number is 946-6136. It's a Flow sponsored number. We want to thank them for that. They've been a part of this as well for 39 years, along with Radio Cayman.
Right.
And then, as I mentioned, Cayman 27 coming on board later on. We are actually we have contacted many corporate sponsors. So we've been in contact with them, emailing them, calling them, following up to speak with them about making pledges. So in the lead up to the event, we actually try to garner several $1,000s worth of prizes ahead of time.
Right.
Well, not sorry, prizes, pledges, well, prizes as well.
Yes.
Ahead of time, so that on the night going in, we do feel secure. But during the night, we still have to garner quite a lot of money
to get to your goal.
In pledges to get to our goal. And then, while the work has been ongoing to create the show, prepare the show, produce the show, and to work on garnering those funds, we then have to make sure that we call everyone and follow up with emails and say, hey, you made your pledge, would you be willing to come down? Let us know when you can come in. And then we obviously, those people who have won can come in, make their pledge, and then they can receive their prizes as well.
Now, Mona, can persons overseas donate as well?
Yes, of course. We're very thankful to have CaymanGiftCertificates.com online. That way you can actually just go straight on to that website, or literally ncvo.org.ky. If you click the donate button that's on the front page, that will take you to the CaymanGiftCertificates.com link as well, and you can donate there. There is a small fee to use that portal. However, it's minimal, and you would still be able to get funds to us that way.
Is that live now? Can persons, if you
Absolutely.
want to start donation from now?
Yes, we've been receiving several donations from the online portal already. With our letter that goes out, we always obviously let people know that that's the way they can do it. So we've received probably 5 or 6 donations through that way already. So that is direct, and that is really safe for us as well, because handling cash in this day and age is a lot different than 39 years ago. So we do ask people to make their pledges, and we'll follow up with the donation or the receiving of funds later on. But the online portal is the best.
Now let's talk a little bit about volunteers.
Yes, ma'am.
Are volunteers needed?
Yes, volunteers are always needed at the NCVO. For this event, we actually have a lead up, and I don't know if people might have seen some of our volunteers or service groups out volunteering for us last weekend at the supermarkets. That'll be out again. They'll be out again this weekend, this Saturday, the 13th, out at many of the stores. We want to thank the stores as well for allowing us to do these solicitations on their property. We also require at least 4 volunteers the day before to set up our tables, set up our banners, all that, for the lead into the show.
Right.
Of course, all of the musicians, all of the Radio Cayman staff, all of the Cayman 27 staff, they're all volunteers.
Wow.
We can't do it without this large group of wonderful, amazing people who come out every year to allow us to have a wonderful show that is entertaining and fun and highlighting young musicians. And it's just, I can't even give you the words or bring the words out to say that this is such a verbalize this wonderful event. But
now let's talk a little bit about the collection drives. There are organizations. I know for a fact, driving through Georgetown, and what stands out in my mind are some of the firemen.
Yes, they will be back with us again this year. We're so thankful for Mr. Ronnie Dixon and his group of fire officers who will be out on the 19th of October, the day before. That's Friday. Downtown next to the courthouse, they will be passing around their fireman hats, and we're asking people to, just have your couple of dollars ready as you drive by to give to the firemen. Every year they bring in funds for us, and they do not not tire of doing this. They wanted to do more last year. They were actually at all the supermarkets. Unfortunately, they got called out twice. but it's the
nature of their job.
It's the life in living color, I guess. Right. So they'll be down at the courthouse live with their fire truck, and like I said, they're out there on the 19th, the day before the telethon. Please give. They're there from 7:30 in the morning till 11:30 in the morning as well, and you can obviously give to them.
Now, we dabbled a little bit into the bargain store as, a part of the fundraising initiatives. There's also a calendar as well, is there?
Yes. The Watercolor Calendar Trust, the Watercolors Trust, is its own, obviously, nonprofit organization that provides, they seek funding in order to create these calendars, as well as print them and bring them on island. This year, we're thankful for Grant Thornton and Greenlight Re for giving the donations in order to create that. We sell those calendars throughout the Christmas month or lead up to the Christmas or to the holidays. Those are $15, and that goes not only to the NCVO, but profits. 100% of the profits are split evenly between the Cayman Hospice Care and the NCVO. So that's another great way of being able to give to us. You receive something in return. The calendars actually highlight a lot of young artists as well as some well-known veteran artists like Gordon Solomon. Yes. We're very thankful for another young girl. I would like to say her name, I think she was in it last year, was Sam Rudy Tagal Paliwar, I think is her name. She's been around for a while at St. Ignatius. She's been a part of it for several years. So some from 15, 16 years old, to well-seasoned artists are included. Their works are included in the calendar.
Now, what are some ways people can keep abreast of all of the happenings of the NCVO?
The best way, Facebook and Twitter. We know that people obviously get a lot of information from their handheld devices. So a lot of what we do will go on, everything pretty much will go on to our Facebook page. We're highlighting our teachers, highlighting our students, highlighting our sponsors. So you can log on to NCVO Children's Services programs on Facebook. Just find us there, or on Twitter at ncvo.ky, or NCVO-KY, apologies.
And final recap in regards to contact details.
All right.
Leading up to the event and the NCVO overall.
Okay, you can contact us at 949-2124. My extension is 3 or 526-1078. If you're interested in making a pledge beforehand, we'll make sure that goes into the pot. So you can win one of those wonderful prizes. You can also email me at ncvocoordinator@ncvo.org.ky. The event is happening on October 20th at the Prospect Playhouse from 7 to midnight. Listen to Radio Cayman right here on this dial, or watch Cayman 27, and you'll be able to enjoy the entertainment as well as be a part of something that's amazing. 39 years of fundraising for the NCVO.
Thank you so much, Mona. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. And again, highlighting an event such as this is so important, and it's far-reaching to our community.
Thank you so much for allowing us to be on and for sponsoring this event again.
It's a pleasure. Stay tuned now for Radio Cayman's 8 a.m. news, weather, traffic, sports, and in our next segment of the Business Buzz at approximately 8:15, we chat with representatives of Cayman Parent Magazine. Over to you, Susan.
Thank you, Sabrina. And the studio time by Price Right is 7:59.
Price Right is Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore, making your dollar go further with huge savings and no membership fees. Get more of the things you use every day at the right price. But it's not just grocery and health and beauty. Price Right has a full range of products from office to automotive, patio furnishings to kitchen appliances, and even electronics. And since warehouse prices mean savings for you, everything is priced right at Price Right, Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
Access and information. Your community. News and information. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Services Financial Crime Unit is advising the public of an ongoing online scam being circulated through Facebook Messenger and possibly other social media. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
Victims have received text messages and phone calls through Messenger claiming to be from a number of local politicians, including West Bay MLA Bernie Bush, Speaker of the House the Honourable Makiva Bush, and Education Minister the Honourable Juliana O'Connor-Conley. The messages say the recipients have been selected to receive a $50,000 U.S. grant from the United Nations Democratic Fund, the UNDF, and are instructed to send anywhere from U.S. $150 to $750 for government processing and shipping fees in order to receive their grant. Police say the message request then asked the victims to send money through Western Union to recipients under various names and to send a copy of the Western Union receipts back through Facebook Messenger along with a copy of the victim's ID. Police want to make it clear that this is a scam, a real one, and there is no facility offering a grant like this to Caymanians. If at any time you think your online information has been compromised or if you've received a request like this, please contact the RCIPS FCU at rcips.fcu@gov.ky. The Financial Crime Unit can also be reached by phone at 949-8797. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
And the sargassum seaweed invasion continues along Cayman's coastlines. The Department of Environment says they've been getting reports of significant influxes of sargassum hitting various areas ranging from East End to South Sound. The DOE says if you're planning to clear the beaches around South Sound, remember that there are a number of active turtle nesting sites in the area where nests could be destroyed. Removal of sargassum by mechanical means cannot be undertaken without getting in touch with the Department of Environment with an issuance of letter of approval, which will outline the conditions to be followed. You can reach out to the DOE's Environmental Management Unit at emu.doe@gov.ky. In regional news, a Jamaican public service employee is among 4 people arrested on Sunday night in connection with an alleged illegal removal of fuel from the company's Hunts Bay power station. In the statement, the JPS said the arrest followed weeks of surveillance by its security department and the police. A JPS spokesperson says, quote, the persons who are arrested are scheduled to appear in court this week to answer to the charges. The JPS said the investigation into the alleged theft is continuing in an effort to identify other people who may be involved. It also says it has intensified its efforts to curtail the illegal activity and has indicated a zero-tolerance approach to internal corruption. Now with the check of international news, here's the BBC who will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. Saudi Arabia has granted Turkish investigators permission to search its consulate in Istanbul, where the missing journalist Jamal Khashoggi was last seen a week ago. Turkish officials believe he was murdered there. The Saudis insist he left the building safely. Pakistan's new Prime Minister Imran Khan says his government plans to enter talks with the IMF about a multi-billion-dollar bailout. He had previously highlighted other options, such as exploring a bilateral loan to tackle Pakistan's trade deficit and currency crisis. South Korea says the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un wants Pope Francis to visit Pyongyang. The South Korean President Moon Jae-in will present the invitation when he meets the Pope in the Vatican next week. Religious activities are severely restricted in North Korea. Ukraine's defense ministry says it believes an explosion at an ammunition depot in the north of the country was probably an act of sabotage. Over 10,000 people were evacuated from the area near Chernigov. The British website Bellingcat is briefing members of Parliament in Westminster about his conclusion that a Russian military doctor called Alexander Mishkin is the second spy behind the poisoning of the former Russian agent Sergei Skripal. After previous denials, the Kremlin has said any evidence should be submitted to Russian experts. Officials in Indonesia say more than 2,000 people are now known to have died as a result of the tsunami and earthquake that hit Sulawesi. Doctors have warned that many survivors are living in makeshift shelters with poor sanitation and a lack of clean water. BBC News.
Access. Information. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
From happy beginnings to happy ever after.
Brit-K protects your lifestyle with the best insurance cover at the best possible price.
Health insurance with far-reaching benefits.
95% of claims settled in 5 days.
Low-cost life insurance.
And investments.
Security in retirement.
With a custodian pension plan.
For happy beginnings and a happy ever after.
Visit Brit-K.ky or call 949-8699.
Brit-K, where people come first.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're invited to participate in the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens Brenda Tibbetts Lund Memorial 5K Walk Run on Saturday, October 6th from Cayman to the Flow Exchange and back, starting at 6 a.m. And the 5K and 10K Walk Run on Sunday, October the 14th at the 7 Mile Beach. Entry fee is $25 and participants can register online at www.caymanactive.com or the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens Pink Shop in the Elizabethan Square, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Funds raised go towards paying for mammogram screenings. There will be trophies for runners, and all participants are entered into the raffle following the event. Breast cancer survivors are also invited to attend the walk run. There will be special goodie bags for all survivors who attend.
Cruise tourism is a vital part of Cayman's economy. It is the government's responsibility to create an environment where our people can have an opportunity to grow and prosper today, tomorrow, and into the future. It is a myth that Cayman does not need cruise tourism. It is a fact that cruise passengers spend $200 million per year buying services from small businesses, tour operators, attractions, restaurants, and retail shops. Those funds stay right here, supporting our economy and communities. Support the pairs. Support our tourism.
In financial news, European and Asian markets are mixed after the International Monetary Fund lowered its outlook for the world economy, citing the impact of rising interest rates and trade tensions. Keeping score, Germany's DAX lost 0.1% to 11,930, while the CAC 40 in France added 0.1% to 5,306. Britain's FTSE 100 was less than 0.1% higher at 7,235. Wall Street is set for a pessimistic open. Dow futures lost 0.2% to 26,481. The broader S&P 500 future shed 0.3% to 2,885. Looking at Asia's day, Japan's benchmark Nikkei 225 fell 1.3% to 23,469. Hong Kong's Hang Seng fell 0.1% to 26,172. The Shanghai Composite Index recovered its losses by 0.2% to 2,721 after tumbling 3.7% on Monday. In energy, benchmark U.S. crude added 40 cents to $74.69 a barrel in electronic trading on the New York Mercantile Exchange. The contract lost 0.1% to settle at $74.29 per barrel in New York. Brent crude used to price international oils rose 62 cents to $84.53 a barrel. It dropped 0.3% to $83.91 a barrel in London. And in currencies, the dollar slipped to 113.18 yen from 113.21 on Monday. The euro fell to 1.1475 from 1.1489.
It is your time, Cayman Islands. Have a voice in the future of Cayman's cruise industry at the opposition's continuing series of meetings. Get accurate information and have your say. Is Cayman maintaining its competitive edge? Is docking more efficient and workable than tender service? What drives passenger satisfaction and return visits? Get the facts and help keep Cayman's cruise industry bright. Join the opposition for Phase 2 of the island-wide meetings at 7:30 p.m. Monday, October 8th, West Bay Primary School Hall. Tuesday, October 9th, South Sound Community Hall. Wednesday, October 10th, the Seafarers Association's Meeting Hall, Prospect. It is your time, Cayman Islands. Your time to have your say. The opposition, safeguarding our future. We are in the hurricane season, and knowing what to do after a hurricane can be as important as preparing for the storm. After the passage of a hurricane, seek medical attention if it is needed at hospitals and clinics for those persons who are injured. Do not touch power lines and cables that are down. They may be active. Report them to 911 or the utilities emergency hotlines. Broken tree limbs should be removed from around homes or buildings if possible. This hurricane information has been brought to you by Breeze FM and Radio Cayman.
Your weather update after 8 is brought to you by Brand Source Home Gallery, creating elegant bathrooms with European-style fixtures and fittings.
Babe, not tonight. I need to be rested for all-day meetings tomorrow.
What are you talking about? I was almost asleep.
You keep poking me, and I can't sleep.
That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about. Not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dawson Drive, Industrial Park.
Pleasant good morning. Time now for the latest weather report. Current temperature is 85 degrees. Relative humidity is 88%. Barometric pressure 29.82 inches and rising. The wind is south-southeast at 10 knots. Overnight low temperature was 79 degrees. Remnant cloudiness and showers associated with Hurricane Michael will continue to influence the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as it moves over the eastern Gulf of Mexico today. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area moving towards the north. The National Hurricane Center is issuing advisories on Hurricane Michael, which at last check was located near 24.1 north, 85.9 west. It's about 420 miles south of Panama City, Florida. Michael is currently moving towards the north-northwest at 12 miles per hour, with the maximum winds of 90 miles per hour. This storm poses no threat to the Cayman Islands. Now the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today and tonight, calling for partly cloudy skies with a 40% chance of showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will rise to the upper 80s today and fall to the upper 70s tonight. Your winds will be south to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet, and small craft should exercise caution over open waters. High tide will occur this morning at 9:40, low tide this afternoon at 3:41, and a high tide again tonight at 9:25. The sun will set this evening at 5 minutes past 6 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:19. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Thursday morning as Hurricane Michael moves over the southeastern United States.
Weather update after 8 is brought to you by Brand Source Home Gallery, creating elegant bathrooms with European-style fixtures and fittings.
Good morning once again, and time to take a look what's happening on the roads. Busy traffic on Cool Road and also coming off of Agnes Way, just off the Linford-Pearson Highway, and traffic steady on the Linford-Pearson Highway. Moderate flow of traffic on Godfrey-Nixon Way as well as Eastern Avenue, and traffic moving on moderately in both directions on the Westway Road in front of the Ritz. And Huldah Avenue, steady traffic, and moderate flow of traffic on Thomas Russell Avenue as well as Elgin Avenue. And in and out of Georgetown on Shedden Road, things are not looking too bad as traffic is flowing pretty good. And moderate flow of traffic on Edward Street in front of the Georgetown Post Office. On North Side Road, traffic moving along moderately. And that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 as we update you on your traffic situation. Share the road, Cayman Islands, and buckle up.
The Premier League is back. Every team, every game, every goal is on Flow. Sign up for the Flow Sports Pack today and get 8 dedicated channels to all the Premier League games in stunning HD. Call 1-800-534-7253 or visit discoverflow.ky for more info. The Premier League is back.
This weekend,
Cayman Up Close, a weekly special feature from Radio Cayman News.
I'm Shanda Gallego.
Shanda Gallego goes behind the scenes with Cayman's newsmakers, artists, and emerging talent to get their unique and personal experience, their real story.
This week, we turn the spotlight
Sundays at noon, 6:10 p.m. and 10:10 p.m. and always online at radiocayman.gov.ky. Tune in for Cayman Up Close.
Cayman Up Close, brought to you by Cayman National Bank, proudly serving the Cayman Islands for over 40 years.
In local sports, national indoor volleyball action has seen a spike in numbers this season. The 2018 league has seen 20 teams make up 3 divisions. CIVF member Mark Ray says they've seen a huge boost in numbers in the different leagues, which shows growth and development for the sport of volleyball in Cayman.
It's really good. I'm not sure the history in terms of the number of teams for the National League, but certainly we've been seeing over the years from the PVC League, from the FBC League, and now the National League, the numbers are increasing all the time. So we really have to credit the volleyball community in Cayman for just really organizing themselves, getting themselves together as teams, and importantly, we're also seeing the formation of clubs. So we have now 3 or 4 official clubs on island, which is good. We have a number of teams that are just collections of people, but we're hoping that they form themselves into clubs as well.
Coach Ray says the number of teams will be beneficial for the CIVF when selecting players to represent the country internationally.
So far, it's good. I mean, we are always anxious to get volleyball happening in Cayman. So the last tournament would have been earlier in the year. So the guys are anxious for some volleyball. And so far, so good. I mean, not seeing a lot of rest in teams. We have players who are current national players and former national players, and they're turning out. We have new players on the scene, and they're showing their worth. So I think it'll be good for the Federation to have a cadre of players to select from next time we have an international tournament.
Games are played every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. at the John Gray High School gym, and on Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 at First Baptist.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Good morning and welcome to the second segment of the Business Buzz here on Radio Cayman. I'm pleased to put the spotlight on Acorn Publishing and to hear more about the Cayman Parent Magazine 2019. Today I'm joined by Miss Joanna Boxall, Managing Director, and Editor Miss Mahareen? Yes. Maureen, yes, Nambi, Account Manager, Sales and Marketing of Acorn Publishing Company. Welcome to our show.
Thank you for having us.
Now, take us back, because Miss Joanna, I know you're humble, and you don't really like to talk about how you've evolved into now having this new magazine out on the shelves. But before we get to putting the focus on this new parenting magazine, to give us a little history on, how you came about to open up Acorn Publishing and how you got into this business.
Well, I mean, we're going back now 21 years. I started the company in 1997, and I had been waitressing for a long time, and I'd been working at the Yellow Pages, selling ads at the Yellow Pages for about 7 years, and didn't feel like any of it was really particularly coming together. And then a very good friend of mine came back from a holiday that she had been on with a Breckenridge menu guide, and she said, we used this all the time that we were there. Why don't you do one of these in Cayman? So it was like this light bulb moment going off, thinking, this would be brilliant for Cayman. So I went out, and I remember the first day I went and saw Clemens from the Wharf, who also owned Lantana and Lobster Pot, and he said, I've been waiting for years for somebody to do something like this. Wow. And he bought 3 pages in the magazine, and the inside front cover and the outside back cover, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is going to work. But actually it didn't make any money. And so I carried on working at the Yellow Pages for years, and then I worked at DHL for a couple of years. And what I learned is that you can't make any money with one magazine. So then I went to Bermuda with my mother on a holiday that she had to go on a work trip, and I saw something similar to the Cayman Resident there, but wasn't done so well, and I just thought Cayman needs something like that. And I applied everything I'd learned from the Yellow Pages and sort of put it all together, and suddenly I had 2 magazines, and it just began to grow. And then my husband, Charlie Grover, came on board. And in 2010, he said, we need to do a tourist magazine, but I want to do it differently. I want to do it like a guidebook. And I said to him, please don't do it. They'll laugh at us. There's so many tourist magazines out there. There's What's Hot, there's What to Do Cayman, there's Destination Cayman. I mean, there's so many. He said, no, I know it will work. And it's worked. It's been very successful, and all the web products we have for that too, and the iPad app and iPhone app that we have for it is the #1 app if you type in Cayman Islands in the App Store. And then Cayman Parent came along. Now, Cayman Parent was a gift. It Heather Cassidy had it before. She'd done something similar in Bermuda. She came over here. She did about 5 issues. She almost completely burnt herself out trying to produce this magazine every 6 months. And she came to us and said, it's too much. I need to give it up. Would you buy it from me? And so we bought it from her. And to be honest, it became an enormous project that we put together last year, and we were pretty happy with the result, but it was a much bigger project than we thought. And then this year we looked at it and we thought, okay, so we've done the basics, now where can we take it to? So we'll talk a bit more about this newest issue, but we're really happy with it. It's come a long way from the first issue and from what Heather did. And it's nice. It's great having 4 publications. But we don't just have the publications. We have their websites. We've got their iPad app. So, yeah, it's come a long way.
Well, congratulations. And you continue to grow. And I'm hearing excellent. I've had a read of that. I've had the pleasure. And it's really the resource point for any parent out there. You could just, if you haven't gotten your hands on this, where can persons pick those magazines up?
So we've actually got the magazine at 350 locations across Ireland, everywhere that, you would be on a weekend. So the YMCA has a bunch. We've got them at the Banks, Foster's Food Fair, Kirk Market. Pretty much any plaza that you go to, you'll see our stands. We're quite proud and happy about our distribution. And we printed 15,000 copies last year. All of them were picked up, and that's an audited print run that we do. So lots of locations, lots of places to pick them up.
Excellent. Now, it has been said that magazines are driven by 3 main sources of revenues. 1, advertisers, script subscription, and newsstand sales. But in this case, your magazines are free to the public. So how do they make money? Talk a little bit about the bread and butter of most publications.
Well, it is down to advertising. Completely, it's down to advertising. It's supported by advertisers. And the interesting thing is over the years, we've had people say to us, well, I know it works. Like I know in the first 5 or 6 years of Cayman Resident, we just put lots and lots of listings in for everybody, and it was free, and we put them all in, and I would go next year and the next year and I would check it, and people would say, can't tell you how many people have called me because of this. Like Hash House Harriers, the guys that go out running on a Saturday. The guy said to me, just to let you know, I get so many calls from new people moving to the island, and the only place it's listed in there. So people know that they're getting good value for money and that it works, and people pick it up, and it's their Bible. It's got so much information, and we've tried to do the same thing with all of our products, with Good Taste and Explore and Cayman Parent. They're not magazines that you just read once. They're a guide. They've got really good reference, useful information that we go back to. And I mean, Cayman Parent's interesting because we did, I'll let Maureen talk about that, but we did a survey monkey to try and find out what people wanted in Cayman Parent, and some very interesting feedback came out of it. Then guided us what kind of topics we put in the magazine.
Yeah. So before jumping to that, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about how, we make money out of the magazine. So our advertisers are sort of obviously the bread and butter, right? So the ads that go in, it's not just about the ads, but it is the advertisers and their belief in our products that have helped us find the success that we have. So it is advertising. What we love is that our advertisers believe in the product enough that they put their money behind it, they understand the impact it has, and that allows us to make it free to the public.
Excellent.
They know that the information we're putting out there is important and valuable and accurate, and so it really is advertising, but it's also the sort of the passion of the community for the products that we put out that help us, make sure those magazines stay free.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, the community have got so involved in Cayman Parent. So in this issue, we've had 70 people contribute with articles or photographs. We've had 60 people who we've featured in the community. We've got 100 articles in the 280 pages. So all of our products are a community effort.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. Excellent. Now, tell us about your team. Who and what is involved in producing an editorial magazine and, of this nature? What does it take?
Well, you know what? It takes passion, belief in the product. But our team is composed of 11 people. We're all very passionate about what we do. We believe in it. We've got a set of amazing writers on staff. We've got, the sales team as well. And then we've got graphic designers who are just phenomenal. Actually, to that point, one of our graphic designers this year was nominated and shortlisted for Graphic Designer of the Year for the SIMPA Awards. And, it's that passion, that excitement about the products that really help bring the magazines together. The team has evolved. Joe can talk a little bit about this, but I think, when I joined, and now it's been 2 years, they explained to me that it was Charlie and Joe sort of who just, in her apartment.
We worked out of the spare bedroom in our apartment for about 6-7 years, 10 years even.
Yeah.
I think we moved into our office at Lister Towers the day before my daughter was born, 7.5 years ago, and I said, you've got to get out of this house. It's time to move the office out. But we have a huge amount of content that we need to update every year, so we also pull in interns every summer.
Excellent.
And I'll put this out on the radio. We are looking for smart university students who can give us a couple of months in the summer, who know Cayman well, who are passionate about the community, because they will be given a real job. They'll get paid for it. And, we need them, because there's no way in that short period of time between May and middle of July that you can fact every single little bit of information in Cayman Resident and the others.
Okay, when we come back, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll ask you to share that detail with that appeal, your contact details. Stay tuned for the Business Buzz. More when we come back.
That smells so good. Wow, looks delicious. Let me tell you, Grapetree Cafe is the #1 fish fry place on island. You can't see my plate, or? Yeah, and I'm looking at this menu and not only seeing fried fish, I also see roast fish, I see fritters, breadfruit, cassava, plantain, look here, wings, conch fritter, saltfish fritter and sauce, and watch, they even got chicken tenders and fries. And on Saturday, child, they even got chicharron. Plus, you got all the delicious local juices to wash it all down.
That's right. Grapetree Cafe here on the beach in Bordentown is loved by locals and visitors like me and my family. It is the popular weekend spot to enjoy the ambiance, great food, and soft island music. I'm returning home tomorrow, but I can't wait to return to the Caymans and enjoy the good food and island vibes at Grapetree Cafe in Bordentown.
Okay, wanna try to order up and come join me here so we can watch the sunset. Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Can I send a request, please?
You don't really have to ask us. Just send a request.
This is a shout out to my ex.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Cayman's Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz that is proudly sponsored by greenturtle.ky, Cayman Medical Supplies, and Grape Tree Cafe in Bodden Town, keeping our spotlight on Acorn Publishing Company and especially focusing on Cayman Parenting Magazine. I'm pleased to be joined by Ms. Joanna Boxall and Ms. Nambi, account manager right there at Acorn Publishing, telling us more about this new magazine that has been launched. Now, let's talk about the lead story and some of the biggest changes and challenges of working in the publishing industry.
So this year was actually a really fun and exciting year when it came to the lead story. Last year, we had sort of talked about and internally brainstormed who do we think would make, a good representation for the front cover. And this year, we actually had chosen Governor Anwar Chaudhry and his family for our cover and our lead story. We had worked with his team to schedule in the interview. We had the interview done. I went in and spoke to all of them, got some really good content, and we had even gone and done a photo shoot for them and started picking out our cover picture. Mm-hmm. So, one of the biggest challenges about publishing and sort of the stories that we run is ensuring that they're accurate, a good representation of the community, and sort of current, especially with a publication that is an annual publication. Mm-hmm. And so we really, at the last minute, had to pull one out of the hat and have a little brainstorm, and we actually ended up having an incredible family on the cover this year anyways. We have Joey and Cynthia Hugh, and Joe can talk a little bit more about why we chose them.
Well, it's very difficult to know who to choose to go on the cover because they have to be a good role model, good representation of Cayman and Caymanians. And we chose Cynthia and Joey because they are wonderful role models for Cayman. And also because we were doing this main feature in the magazine about food and nutrition, and Cynthia is so involved in that with Bon Vivant and doing her cooking classes, and she's at the forefront of that. She's very well known in the community, has been for years. She's done, both of them are so well known in their own right. Correct. And they're loved. They're, people would see, and be interested in them. They're also a blended family. Mm-hmm. So they're very much, part of our community. So we're very glad we featured them. And they thankfully said yes and were wonderful with the photographer and when we interviewed them, and yeah, it was great. So if anybody has great ideas for people to feature in future years, please let us know.
Of course. Now, just before that break, you made an appeal for interns, university, college, level, to work as intern as paid internship, or it's a real job, as you stated. But how can they reach out to you? What is the best way?
Well, they can email us through Joanna at acorn.ky, Joanna at acorn.ky. And what we really look for is somebody who can work May, June, July every year, who is university level, because there's a lot of responsibility. Yes. They are given about 6 or 7 or even 8 chapters of Cayman Resident and some of Cayman Parent to update from cover to cover and check and call and talk to and email every client, because our content is only as good as, the weakest link in it. Correct. And if there's a business that moved 2 years ago and it's not been checked and not been updated, then people might think, what else has not been checked? Mm-hmm. And I can tell you, we check everything and update it, and we, reach out and find out whatever we can. So we love smart, keen interns, and we give them a real job, and they get involved with doing stuff with us on social media. They come to meetings with us. They get taught everything. They're involved in all our, group meetings every week, and it's a real job.
Excellent. Yeah. Now, remind our listeners, how did the brand come to be?
So yeah, Cayman Parent, Joe mentioned a little bit about it earlier, but Heather Cassidy had come up with this amazing product, and she had done it in Bermuda and a few other places, maybe Barbados, and done some parenting magazines, but she just wasn't able to really to handle it. Now, what Joe and Charlie did is they didn't just acquire it, they acquired it and then really rethought about how to make that brand incredibly useful and representative of the Cayman community. Mm-hmm. So not just about the advertisers. A lot of products come out, and you know what? It's more about the advertising than it is about the content.
Right.
Now with Cayman Parent, what we've really done is ensured that the articles and the content that we have, the way it's structured, everything is based on what the community has told us, the feedback we've received, the hot topics of the moment. So
we did a survey monkey to find out from the community through our Facebook page and all the emails we had, the topics that people were most concerned about, what they would be most interested in finding out about. And from that, we found out that nutrition was a big topic. Education was obviously a big topic too. And then during our research and during writing articles, some interesting things came out. Mm-hmm. So the lead article that hopefully people will read that came out from it was the fact that it's about feeding Cayman's kids. And the article, well, basically my child is tutored by somebody whose spouse works at the behavioural department at Clifton Hunter High School. And she said, the children there are hungry. They're being sent to school without breakfast, without money for lunch, or without lunch. And then they're expected to learn. And children who are hungry can't concentrate and they can't learn. Mm-hmm. And so I said, we need to do something about that. We need to write an article about it. We need to let people know that that's a problem. Mm-hmm. So we wrote this amazing article. We talked to Stacey at Feed Our Future. We talked to people at Meals on Wheels.
Dr. Erica Lamb at BHAC. So I think one of the key things was that Joe came across this concern, but then we really did reach out to the community to say, hey, is this really happening? Is it a serious issue? And once we realized that it was, then we decided, you know what, not only do we need that article, but we need an entire section on nutrition to talk to people about, how nutritious food can be affordable, and how easy it is to sort of, not easy, but, how you can instill that passion for nutrition and that behavior in your kids and your families.
Yeah. And how you can get people interested in food, how you get them involved, what ages they should be able to do different things in their cooking.
Yeah. Now, this is the second edition. When you look at the difference between the first and you look at where you are now for the second, what major changes have you adapted in the second that probably you didn't even think about in the first?
So one of the key things that came out in that beautiful survey we did, it wasn't just a quick survey with, 50 respondents. We had over 400 people respond and take the time to actually finish the entire survey. Mm-hmm. So thank you to the community for that. One of the main concerns was structure. So last year, the structure of the magazine, the chapters were slightly different. We had, the front of the magazine, we had our lead articles, but then we jumped into sort of age-based category articles. This year, based on the feedback that we received, we know that education was a huge concern, and then nutrition was a huge concern. Those have been put into their own chapters. Health issues as well. Last year, we had really focused on putting those into the sort of age-based categories. And the other thing is not just the way the chapters are structured, but the navigation itself is slightly easier in terms of finding what you're looking for. So we've added these beautiful colored tabs along the side, similar to actually what we do in Resident, so that, you can quickly find, first word is a darker green, nutrition's light green, education's purple. So that's more of the structural stuff that we've changed. In terms of the content?
Well, some of the content we've really gone into depth on articles that people said that they wanted to know about and needed information on. So, for example, we have talked about scholarships, how to get scholarships for your children going to do A-levels and then go to university, what's involved, what things you need to get to qualify. We then talked about going to university and all of that and how Caymanians, get help with university or can get scholarships for that. And I talked to, the heads of the schools and the people in charge of that, and got some great content. So that's all new.
Yeah, there's also, you know, one of the things people said they absolutely loved last year was the features we did on people in the community, right? And so we've got these beautiful Q&As that we've got across actually most of our chapters now that actually last year we had done a doctor's Q&A with some local doctors, teachers Q&A. So we've kept those, but we've added in a dadtrepreneurs Q&A, which is kind of fun. And we've also added in one for nannies. Okay. So we had an online engagement piece that asked people, you know, tell us about the nannies. They play for a lot of families, they play a serious role in parenting and families. So we've got that in there as well. We've added, you know, as much community content as possible. We can. Yeah.
Which I also noticed that your articles highlight Cayman's past. So how important is that for your companies and readers and advertisers alike? You've always included something about the past.
I think, you know what, it is incredibly important to make sure that the content that we're talking about the present, but you can't actually reflect on the present in any significant way without considering what's happened in the past. Correct. In talking to Joey and Cynthia, you know, it was really beautiful to understand sort of Joey's history and Cynthia's history with the island and the community, and then how that has informed, you know, their current passion for what they do. The same thing comes out in every time we talk to somebody in the local community and we do a Q&A. You know, they always start off with sort of their history and then bringing it forward. So
now, what's next for Cayman Parenting Brand?
You know what? There is, I guess, what we like to think is the world is our oyster when it comes to the brand. Very excitedly, I can say that our website for Cayman Parent, which is going to be, you know, the hub, is launching within the next couple weeks. So that is going to be a digital version, really, of the print, and it'll have, you know, directories that are easily accessible for people to find pretty much anything they're looking for. You know, a lot of the time you go on to some great Facebook pages like K-Mums or Real Women of Cayman, and people are asking questions. They're saying, where can I find this for my child? Or, you know, when is the next school event for CIS? And what Cayman Parent website is going to be doing is you've got an events calendar that's going to have everything from community events, family events, to school events. And in addition to that, you've got this massive directory that's searchable by age, location, opening hours, stuff that, you know, people would really need to know in any circumstance. So, yeah, that's a big part of what's next for Cayman Parent.
Now, is your magazine available online, understanding the importance and everybody's walking around with a smart device? It's one thing of having the book when you're lounging, you're doing a staycation or something, and you're like, oh, I heard them on the Business Buzz, but, oh, here's the magazine. But what if you remember that experience and said, I want to find this on my phone because I know there was something in that article. Are you allowed to get it on your smart devices as well?
You are. So what we did last year is we actually had all of our publications put on issue.com, which is a great platform for magazines from all over the world. And excitedly, you know what, we hadn't even really pushed it out. But to your point, people are Googling Cayman Parent online or Cayman Parent Magazine. And we had, I think it's something like over 2,500 reads of at minimum 10 minutes each read.
So they stay there for a while.
So people stay there. They flip
through
the
pages. Which is long.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, it helps us feel good about our content being useful and people being interested. But yeah, it is available on issue.com.
Okay. We're going to take our final break. When we come back, we'll keep the spotlight on Acorn Publishing Company Limited, but specifically putting the spotlight on Cayman Parenting Magazine 2019.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Excuse me, I noticed you from afar.
Really?
Me?
Well, not you. The KFC sandwich you're eating.
Oh, Zinger.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, it's called the Zinger Sandwich. Crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken breast, crisp lettuce, sweet mayo on a seeded bun with a little zing. KFC's chicken is not factory-breaded, frozen and refried like the Burger Boys. Customize your KFC Zinger and dip it in barbecue sauce.
Wow, now I'm starting to notice you too.
KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Cruise tourism is a vital part of Cayman's economy. It is the government's responsibility to create an environment where our people can have an opportunity to grow and prosper today, tomorrow, and into the future. It is a myth that Cayman does not need cruise tourism. It is a fact that cruise passengers spend $200 million per year buying services from small businesses, tour operators, attractions, restaurants, and retail shops. Those funds stay right here, supporting our economy and communities. Support the pairs. Support our tourism.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Cayman's Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, keeping the spotlight on Cayman Parenting Magazine 2019, which is a go-to resource for parents, grandparents, guardians, relatives, family, friends, and professionals seeking trusted advice about children ages 0 to 25. The aim of the magazine, website, and social media channels is to provide readers with everything they need to know about bringing up children here in the Cayman Islands. The highly qualitative, glossy magazine features a mix of topical articles and essential guide style reference information related to all aspects of child development in the Cayman Islands. The magazine is the essential parenting Bible for anyone involved with raising children in the Cayman Islands and is distributed over 300 distribution points across the island. Here telling us more about this morning is our very own Miss Joanna Boxall, Managing Partner and Editor-in-Chief at Acorn Publishing, and she's been joined by Miss Maureen Nabby, Account Manager, Sales and Marketing, also of Acorn Publishing. Now, talk about some upcoming community events.
So one of the things we love about Cayman Parent, it's a brand that allows us to get back into the community. And, you know, we're going to be at Spookfest, which is coming up. It's at the Turtle Center. We're working with DMS on that. And we were at Kids Fest, which was an excellent event about 2 months ago. So we're going to be out in the community. Come over and see us. Give us your feedback. And we always have a nice little treat for the kids, whether it's a Cayman Parent fidget spinner or, you know, some freezies or something like that. So
now, if someone is interested in working for Acorn Publishing, where can they look and find openings of positions?
We always put it on our website, acorn.ky. They can go on there, and there's always a tab for the interns that we need. But to be honest, if somebody reaches out to me in January or February when we are really honing down, going, we need help, how many people we need, I will look at every single application.
Excellent. How can persons get more information on Acorn Publishing Company Limited and your publications?
Acorn.ky is a great resource. So, you know, we've got stuff on there about each of our publications. We're actually incredibly active on Facebook as well. And so check out our Facebook page, message us if you see something interesting. But if you just want to know about the general information on the publications or advertising rates, if you're thinking, you know what, this is a really good fit for my business, then acorn.ky, or getting in touch with Joanna at acorn.ky. That's the way to go.
Work,
yeah.
Individually, what would you like to leave with our listening audience this morning? We'll start with our accounts, Miss Namby, account manager.
You know what? Well, I think what I want to leave with, especially with regards to Cayman Parent, is just to say thank you to the community for being so supportive of us, to our advertisers who are so passionate about the importance of our product as well. And please get in touch, because we're always looking for content ideas. And if you have something that you really think is important that you need to have, that should be discussed in the community, our products are really the way to go. They're out there the entire year, and they're in the most engaging places for the community.
Okay, Ms.
I would agree with that too, and I would encourage people to read Cayman Parent and read some of the articles, because particularly this article on feeding Cayman's kids. I mean, I'd love to think there are people in the community who could put their hand up to help. They may not have the time, but they probably have the resources,
Correct.
some of them, and sometimes that's all it needs.
Okay. I want to thank you so much for allowing us to put the spotlight on Cayman Parent Magazine and also Acorn Publishing, because there are other magazines that you have out there. And as this show continues, we will more than likely invite you back on to also spread the word about the other publications that is so out there, and such a lot of information and resources and tools for persons to tap into. Again, it has been a pleasure, and thank you.
Thank you very much as well.
The Radio Cayman's Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by greenturtle.ky. Get your new phone at greenturtle.ky. No stress, no fuss at greenturtle.ky. Also brought to you by Cayman Medical Supplies. Give them a call today, 949-6211. And also by Grape Tree Cafe in Bodden Town. Call them, yes, 324-5860. It has been a pleasure. Thank you, Susan, the producer of our show. And until Thursday, have a safe and fabulous Tuesday.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.